What's up, and welcome back to the number one show in sports and entertainment. Earl knows it all, and I'm your host, Earl Hill. And man, it is a college football showdown this weekend. Huge games, huge implications on playoff opportunities, and just overall real big matchups between ranked teams this week, man. So it's going to be a great opportunity this week. Lock in, catch some great games, man. Get your popcorn ready, your snacks, whatever you like to eat on your game day, your cold adult beverage or whatever it is, and you can sit down and watch football all day Saturday. And we got you the 5 best games that you need to watch right now coming up after this. Welcome back to Earl Knows It All. And before you do anything, do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and share button. Turn your notifications on, man. We're giving you the best in college football, the best in the NFL. We're giving you the best in pop culture. When the NBA season starts, we cover that as well. We got you covered on all bases. So make sure you like, subscribe, tell a friend, man. It's beautiful things going over here at Earl Knows It All. Now let's get right into it, man. We got our 5 top games of the weekend for college football, and we will start with number 5. It is number 24 Iowa traveling to Penn State, who's the number 7 team in the country. Now, the last time these two teams met was back in 2021, and a little bit of controversy there. Iowa pulled that game out. They were down by 14, and they come back and beat Penn State, who was ranked number 4 at the time. Iowa was actually ranked number 3 as well, so this was a top 5 battle, but there were some complaints from the Iowa fan base, as well as I guess their coach Kirk Ferentz may be feeling like there was some injury shenanigans going on to try to slow down the Iowa offense as they got rolling. So, of course, some exception was taken to that by Franklin, who is the head coach over at Penn State, and it led to a little bit of a war of words. The fans even booed some of the injuries, which is a major faux pas, because you don't know if guys are hurt for real. So you don't want to be booing somebody when they're down on the ground and possibly hurt. But all of that had kind of died down because the two teams didn't meet last season, But they're back at it. It's a whiteout this week in at Penn State. This will be a late night game. So I'm sure the emotions will be running high in this one, and it's going to be a fun game, man. Like I said, anytime Penn State and Iowa get together, anything can happen. We saw a 14-point deficit come from behind victory for Iowa back 2 years ago. So this one should be a good one. It's the first real test for Penn State as well. If Penn State is going to possibly win the Big Ten this year, this is a game they're going to have to win. This is one that sometimes trips them up. So we'll see if they're able to get past this test. The whiteout, like I said, is always a big game at Penn State. So you'll see a full white stadium, the white helmets, the white uniforms, all white, all the pageantry that you'll see at Penn State should be fun, and that one should be one to lock in on. Now, this week we have another huge game, a game that we thought would even be bigger than what it was, possibly between 2 top 10 teams, but now it's only one of these teams that's ranked in the top 5. We got Florida State traveling to Death Valley to take on the Clemson Tigers. Now, Clemson has kind of ran the ACC for the past, I would say, 10 years. Dabo Swinney, not really a fan of that guy, but he's had some good recruiting done, brought in some great quarterbacks to the tune of Deshaun Watson and Trevor Lawrence that helped lead that team to some national championships, and the playoffs each year during those guys' tenure there. Now he's on hard times. They lose the opening game against Duke. They got beat down by Duke 24-7 in that game, man. They're out of the top 25 even after being ranked, I think, number 10 to start the season. So Florida State comes in after escaping what was probably a trap game for them against Boston College. That was one of the top 5 games I gave you to watch last week. We knew it could be tricky for Florida State. They hold on to win that game 31-29 after a penalty saved them essentially late while Boston College was getting rolling. So problem with this game, Florida State is the team that, like I said, should be favored in it. They're the kind of the monster that's rolling right now, but Clemson's won 7 straight in this series. So can Florida State finally get over that hump? Will they be able to break that streak? And when I was a young man, and I still am pretty young, but when I was a little bit younger, Florida State dominated the ACC for maybe the first 5 or 6 years in the league. I don't think they even lost a game before they lost the game to Virginia later on. But they were undefeated in the conference, not just one year. Every single year, they had never lost since they joined the conference. So Now, like we said, Clemson's the big dog in the conference, but Florida State we see kind of coming back, trying to take over and reclaim that throne. And of course, there'll be some new teams coming into the ACC in the next couple of years. So it's interesting to see if the sort of traditional teams that have been there will be able to hold on to that mantle. But I think Florida State should win this game. They got a good quarterback in Jordan Travis. They got some great receivers as well. Very good defense that gets after it. That's our number 4 game to watch on the weekend. Now, there's so many jam-packed games that it's tough to say which one should be ranked number 1 or which one shouldn't be. But I've been putting this team at number 2 each week, and every week they have kind of stole the show and been the game to watch. Well, this week they're the number 3 game. We got number 19, Colorado, the Colorado Buffaloes and Coach Prime traveling up to Oregon to take on the number 10 Oregon Ducks and Bo Nix. And now this is the first true test for Coach Prime. Last week, they escaped with a 2 overtime victory. All the hoopla behind, having Lil Wayne there and The Rock and both Fox and ESPN at the game, Game Day and Big Noon, Fox Big Noon, all of them hosting their shows at Boulder. Well, they go on the road. So not their first road test. They had a road test at TCU that they handled pretty well against a team that was ranked. But Oregon is one of the teams that's favored to be in the mix in the Pac-12 as far as possibly being a champion and playing, winning or securing a playoff spot almost as well. So Colorado has to step up in this game defensively, and they're doing all this, of course, without maybe their best player in Travis Hunter. He's definitely a player that is one of the top players in the country. He plays both defense and offense for them. So not only are they losing a wide receiver, they lose the top cornerback in college football as well. And not a good time to do that against Bo Nix and this high-power Oregon offense. They put up 81, I think, in their first game. The Duck is probably still doing push-ups. So this is going to be one to watch, man. If Coach Prime and Colorado are truly for real, and they have turned this thing around already, so I won't even say that, but if they are going to make real noise in college football and contend for a championship, it starts on Saturday with this game. And I'll just leave you with this, man. I believe in Coach Prime. I've drunk the Kool-Aid, whatever you want to call it. I think the streak continues to roll, man. They just find a way. And I'll say this, everyone outside of Caleb Williams, I still think Caleb Williams may be the best quarterback in college football, but Shedeur Sanders is clipping at his heels. And like he said, he went in Brady mode last week to win that game or to bring them back, like I said, and tie the game, send it to overtime, and then eventually win it in 2 overtimes. He's going to need some magic against Bo Nix in Oregon. So I think he'll continue to have that magic. I think Coach Prime continues to have the magic, and they will beat Oregon. I don't even get predictions usually in this, but I believe that much in you, Coach Prime. So that's number 3. That's our number 3 game to watch on the weekend. Now, number 2, this one is interesting because Alabama host at Tuscaloosa, the number 13 Alabama Crimson Tide. Sounds weird to put a number in the teens by that team's name. They'll bring in Ole Miss, the Ole Miss Rebels, a conference rivalry, the number 15 team in the country. And now, if you watch my earlier video, about Nick Saban and kind of what's going on there, they won their game 17-3 over South Florida. However, sometimes a victory is not really a victory, man. They have had this quarterback controversy. They finally named Jalen Milroe the starting quarterback again. He's been the best out of the 3 so far. They had an all players only meeting, during the week. Just a lot going on, man. And they fell out of the top 10 for the first time since 2015, over 8 years, and 128 consecutive polls that they were in the top 10. Only second to the U, Miami, from back in the 80s, 85-93. So what are we going to do with this game, man? I think it's going to be a great theater to watch. It's been a long time since Alabama's lost 2 straight home games. Now, their last home game was against Texas. They actually did lose that game by 10 to the Texas Longhorns. So they're facing a team that's the number 4 highest scoring team in the country. And Ole Miss, they're averaging 52.7 points a game. They got Jackson Dart, who's a very good dual threat quarterback. And Alabama historically has struggled with dual threat quarterbacks. So all of the odds seem to be against Alabama right now. But I'll say this. I think the reports of Alabama's untimely demise have been greatly exaggerated. Now, they don't have a quarterback that I think they've had in the past couple of years with Bryce Young and Jalen Hurts and Tua Tagovailoa, guys who could throw the ball, could do some things with it, but they still have a lot of players on this team, man. These guys have to step up into their roles, play defense, play defense like an Alabama team should, as they struggled a little bit against Texas. I think they can maybe hopefully try to slow down Ole Miss a little bit, but I think they'll get back to running the football as well. And Milroe just can't make mistakes as far as turning the football over. If he doesn't do that, I think they should be okay. They got the home crowd behind them. Hopefully they do. I don't think they'll turn on Nick Saban after all he's done that quickly, but that's our number 2 game to watch, Ole Miss at Alabama. I think Alabama has a snapback game and reminds people a little bit of who they are. Let's not give up on Nick Saban. He is he is the greatest college football coach in the history of the game, So I think he'll continue. I don't think he forgot how to coach football. Let's put it that way. And our number 1 game, we got 2 teams ranked in the top 10. This one will be going on in South Bend. We have the number 6 Ohio State Buckeyes traveling to number 9 Notre Dame. And now Notre Dame has not beaten Ohio State since 1936. I had to check and double check that to make sure it's true. I'm like, wow, these teams have only met a couple times, maybe 9 times, I think, not too many times, but it's been a long time since Notre Dame has actually beat this team. So in that history, Notre Dame has been good at some point during that time, even though it's been a long time since they've been a national power like that and actually competed for a championship. But they are underdogs at home in this game. Now, one thing that could change this streak is they're getting some great quarterback play from Sam Hartman, who's come over. Last year, their quarterback play was a disaster. All of those quarterbacks I just talked about Alabama, one of them is in Alabama, Tyler Buckner. He stunk to join up for Alabama last week, and it was benched in that game. So it kind of shows you what they have going on there. Another quarterback they had, I think, is at Arizona State, and he stunk it up too and got benched in his game. So they didn't have great quarterback play last year. They do this year with Sam Hartman. However, they're catching Ohio State right when they seem to be kind of getting into their groove. Ohio State has one of the best receivers in the country, and Marvin Harrison Jr. He's a lot like his father, man. He's pretty good. And I'll say this. They put up 63 last week. They ran the football, man. And that's going to be something that Ryan Day will probably have to try to get back to. I know he likes to throw the ball around a lot. When you got C.J. Stroud and you got, Dwayne Hickson and you got all these different quarterbacks that they've had previously, it's a little bit easier to do that. But right now, with Kyle McCord, I think he needs to run the football a little bit more. And, you try to get it out there to Marvin Harrison where you can make a big play, but ease this guy kind of into it. This will be a tough environment. Touchdown Jesus will be back there. So it'll be interesting to see how this game plays out. But, Notre Dame seems to just come up short in these big games. Ohio State has their number, although Ohio State loses a lot of big games as well. They usually handle their business against Notre Dame without any issues, and that probably will continue that trend as well. These are our 5 games to watch this weekend for college football. Like I said, it is a college football showdown. It's the show me time now, man. We're starting to get into some big time games, conference games. It's going to determine, hey, what kind of playoff seeding we may have, who's going to be in control of the conference. And it is a fun time for football. Week 4, college football. We are getting right into the thick of things, man. So, again, you guys, tell me what you think. Which games are you looking forward to? Who do you think will come out victorious in these games? You can drop your comments right down there in the comment section. As always, I want to ask you to like, subscribe, and share this video. Turn on your notifications so you get these. I do a video every week giving you the top 5 games to watch for college football. And we've been 5 for 5 every single week, man. They've all been great football games to watch. A lot of theater, some upsets, just a lot of great stuff happening. So I don't foresee anything different happening this week with these slate of games. And let me leave you with this as well, man. This precious gem. Put your trust in God, because through him, all things are possible. Enjoy this football weekend. And most importantly, may the source be with you. You guys have a great day.